Okay.
But we are doing a little drawing. My name is Jeannie Edmonds, and I'm the COO, Chief Operating Officer of NextTribe. I have Marcy Mitchell, our travel manager, here with us. And I also have Elliser Holder, who is running the Charleston trip. She's a trip leader and the leader of trip leaders. So she's the
Oh,
leader
yeah.
of all leaders.
And
Be-
I'm going to turn on a light.
oh, okay. We can see you, Elliser. You look great.
I know, but I just felt like, okay, hey, yeah. Hi.
So, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. As you may have seen in the Eventbrite, there will be a little drawing at the end, and I will be picking a name out of here, but you must be present to win. So the drawing is for $200 off of this fabulous trip that Elliser is leading for the third time, fourth
Fourth
time,
time, I think.
fourth time. Fantastic. So as you can tell, Elliser has an authentic Southern accent. So that means that she will be able to lead you authentically on this trip. Elliser has a wonderful background in, Elliser, first of all, is an old friend of Jeannie's. They went to college together.
A long time friend.
Excuse me, she
The
dated a
word old.
long time friend. And so obviously she trusts her 100% to run this trip. And it's always a super fun trip and really rich with history and culture. And she has a slideshow that she's going to show you, and she'll answer any questions that you might have about the trip.
Yep.
So with that, Elliser, take it away.
Hey, everybody. Yes, I've led this trip. I've even lived in Charleston, South Carolina. I am born and raised South Carolina, went to the University of South Carolina. We have a place on the coast, but it's in North Myrtle Beach. So South Carolina coast is very near and dear to my heart, as well as Charleston. And then Jeannie and I went to USC together, and I've been a part of NextTribe since the day she started it. So in some form or fashion. And of course, I've had to go on trips with her just to kind of do reconnaissance. So that's always been fun. But so that's who I am, and I lead this trip, and we have a blast. So I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to share all about NextTribe with you and this trip. So can everybody see the screen?
Yep.
Everybody good? Okay, so that's at a private island we go to. Well, other people were walking it. So it is Charleston 2025 at the end of March. It's one of the best cities in the whole wide world. Certainly you've seen it in magazines, on TV. Of course, there's reality shows there now. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful city, and it's just so great to explore. So I'm glad y'all are considering it. And then this is who I am. I am Elliser Holder, and that's how much fun we have. And then one year we had some time to kill. So where we go for the author lunch, it's a friend of mine and Jeannie's that we've known since college as well. She lives on Sullivan's Island, and she has an 8-man, 8-woman golf cart. So we took a trip. So we went all around the island while we had some time to kill. That was kind of fun. So we'll get started with what this trip is all about. So we stay at the King's Courtyard Inn. It is downtown Charleston. It's on King Street. Actually, a sorority sister of Jeannie's and I, she and her husband have a collection of hotels, and this is one of them. And she's Southern, and so it's got all the Southern appointments. It's just friendly and nice. It's in the middle of King Street, which is the middle of Charleston. So when you have free time, you can go out on your own safely and explore. And it's just a lovely place. They're so nice. The rooms are very well appointed. Breakfast is included. Super cool. So the King's Courtyard Inn. And then out of the gates, we will meet up and go out to dinner the first night. We always meet up and have a big time, and then maybe on this day we do the carriage ride. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Hang on. We get there and we do a carriage ride as soon as we get there. So the carriage rides take you all over Charleston, and they give you the history, and it's just a great way, number one, to see Charleston, and then to see the people living their lives, and then just to hear all the history behind so many of the buildings and the places that make Charleston great. And down at the bottom, you can see that's Rainbow Row, and that's very famous, where people have painted their places differently, and you can hear stories about that as well. So yes, when we get there that afternoon, we take a carriage ride. And then that evening, we go to a place called the Vendu Inn. It's wonderful. It's near the Battery and near the waterfront area. So when you're up there, we can have cocktails and just be on the rooftop, getting a better view of Charleston. And it's a lovely hotel too, but that's a great place for us to start and just connect even more after we've already connected some that afternoon. And then we'll go to dinner at an award-winning Charleston restaurant. We're looking at the Grocery, which is very well known. It's been written about, excellent food. So that is a place that we plan to go. And in Charleston, even if you ate off the street, it'd probably be great. The food is so wonderful because it is such an international as well as national hotspot that every restaurant is great and offers just awesome food and seafood, and you can get a little bit of everything. And then, of course, shrimp and grits. If you've ever heard of our shrimp and grits, they are everywhere down there. So then the next morning we will get up and we will go tour Middleton Place Plantation and Gardens. This is one of the oldest landscape gardens and homes of the Declaration of Independence. It's on the Ashley River, so it's really beautiful. It's just a way to learn about the history and how plantations were run. But of course, in 2025 and in these years, they talk more about, not talk more, but they share how they did function back in the day and then how it changed, but they are historical and, they were a thriving community, hub of a community. So Middleton Place is just a fabulous plantation to go visit and to learn about that time and then to learn about the gardens. It's just fantastic. And then, oops, sorry. Oh, I'm going too fast. I'm too excited. So then that afternoon, we will do a walking tour, and it's part of a farm to table experience. So we tour Upper King Street, which is the other side, which has a lot of historical value. So with the carriage ride, we'll see one side of Charleston, and then with this experience, we'll see another. And then we actually go pick out the food we're going to eat, and we meet our chef, and then we go on the tour. And then we end up at this wonderful restaurant, and they have self-serve wine. Personally, I'd never seen it till last year. And of course, you can see I was very excited, like self-serve wine. Oh my gosh. I mean, I have my choice and everything. And of course, this is all within walking distance of where we stay. So, so we do the tour and then we go there, and then the chef presents us with the food that we had picked out at this, it's called the vegetable bin. And so anything you pick out, she will create something magnificent. And it was so much fun, and everybody had a blast. You can see from the pictures. So that is that evening, and it's very unique, a unique experience that not many people do, but we found out about it and we started doing it. And then it's a local chef that actually cooks it and serves it to us. Lots of fun. Great way to end that evening. And then if you are a night person or you're not too worn out from your travels, we go through, there's the Charleston Night Market. So we'll walk through there. This is a market that goes all day long as well. And then it switches over to more of a night vibe with music and selling their all kinds of local fare. So it's really fun. It's safe to walk through there. It's just lovely. And it's a different experience at night than you would have in the morning. This is not a have to. Anything we do at night after eating is totally your option. We're, just whoever feels like they have more energy, will go do things like this. And then we'll explore downtown Charleston the next day. You'll have some free time, and it being where the hotel is, you're in the middle of it all. You can go to, if you have a certain interest in something that you saw in the Charleston area, or you need to ask me about some other things to do, you can go shopping, you can go walking around. You can just have, we always build in free time with our trips, so you can explore on your own or with the people you've met or with me, however it works for you. But we do that free time, and plus with our location, you have access to so much. Then what we do is we go to the home of our friend. Her name is Barbie Mackey, and she has a beautiful home on like the creek. So the ocean's on one side and the creek's behind her that leads into the intercoastal waterway. And she actually just redid her home a couple of years ago, but she and her husband have lived there for 30 years. And so she's very steeped in this area, which is Sullivan's Island, because there's 2 islands off of Charleston. So we go to her house, we have lunch, and we meet a local author. And that was last year's author. She wrote At Loggerheads, and then they share their experience of writing and how they came to write their book and how they published their book. And it's just a wonderful sit down lunch, community oriented event that we do. And it's always just fun. And then you get to experience someone's home and how they live in the Charleston area, which is Sullivan's Island. It's beautiful. So then after that, we'll probably have a little bit of free time. And if I can grab the golf cart again, I will, or we can go exploring. But that afternoon, late afternoon, we take a boat ride, a private boat ride out to Capers Island. And the gentleman up in that picture, he's he's an ex-school teacher. He's so entertaining, and he tells you all about the area. He tells you about the sea life and just anything you want to know about the whole intercoastal waterway area and then the outlying beaches. So then we go to Capers Island, and you can only get there by boat, and we walk around, and he makes a wonderful shrimp bowl for us, which is fabulous, as you can see in that picture. And so it's our sunset cruise, and then we hang out there for a couple hours. And when we're coming back is typically when the sun's setting. It's just gorgeous, and that's a wonderful way to end that day. And then if everybody has energy after that, again, we will walk around town. We'll go to a rooftop bar. There's just so many options. You know, we could go for dessert somewhere, coffee houses. There's a lot of options if there are people who like to keep going and not go in too early. So, and when I say that, you know, this is after 9 o'clock. So then the next day is Sunday, and we're going to go to Hall's Chop House, which has a gospel brunch that is amazing. So gospel folks that are in the tradition of the kind of music they play down there, and you know, the historical music and traditions they play at this restaurant. So while you have your brunch, we listen to them, and this is one of the best restaurants in, I would say, South Carolina, if not the Southeast. It's very well known. And we go there, and as you can see, some people drink mimosas and Bloody Marys, and then there's shrimp and grits. So it's just a great experience to kind of finalize the trip on Sunday. And then we say goodbye. I mean, you know, if some people stick around, and some people stay over, they're staying that night. Some people do leave later, and the hotel we stay at is very gracious about when you're coming, holding your bags and things until we can check in. And they're the same way when we leave. They're just great about holding whatever you need. And then if you decide to stay there or stay a few nights, because Charleston's such a great place, if you want to come early or you want to stay late, I mean, that's your choice. And you'll have lots of options that way. So I'm going to open it up to questions. I'm going to quit sharing and see if y'all have any questions about the trip, or you want to know some more, or if you're already booked.
Can you remind me the dates for this trip?
It's the 20, and Marcy, you may have to correct, the 27th through the 30th, the last weekend in March. It's the 27th through the 30th. Yeah, Thursday through Sunday. And so we hit the ground. What we like everybody to do, typically, we love for you to be there, let's say by 1:30, and then we'd have the carriage ride that afternoon, because it is, you know, one of our long weekends. So some people have come in on Wednesday and we meet up, and then some people come in on Thursday. And I've had people, just because of travel, you know, I'll tell them where we are and how they can catch up with us if something extraordinary happened in their travel plans on Thursday. And then on Sunday, we do that brunch. That brunch is around 12. So we ask people to book their flights for maybe that afternoon so we can have that nice brunch, because it is truly a 12 o'clock brunch. Any other questions? Have you been to
This is Lisa from San Antonio. Hey, I was just curious, what is the weather like down there around that time of year?
I wish I could say it's fantastic, and typically it is, but last year we had some rain showers, nothing like rain, but it is springtime. So, you know, we're transitioning in the South here. It's typically like in the 70s in the day, might drop to the 50s. If it rains, it's typically like rain showers and then they leave. It's just that temperate, it's just nice. I mean, it's not hot, it's not cold, it's in between. So I really do suggest to people to definitely bring, rain gear, meaning just a nice jacket and a hood or something like that. And then, layer, because we never know, but I've never seen it be in the 80s and I've never seen it get below in the 40s at night. So,
Great, thank you.
yeah, yep. Anybody else? I answered all your questions.
It's Charleston.
Yes.
I'm going to be in the South and I'm going to Charlestown in a different state. And there's also a Charleston. There's a lot of Charlestons down there. So I didn't remember which state we're in.
Oh, no, Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We're not Charlestown. We're Charleston.
But like West Virginia has a couple of Charles things, and
Yeah, Charleston, West Virginia, but we're not going there.
I am in 10 days after this trip. So anyway.
Great.
Oh. I pass through there my husband's from Ohio, so we go through Charleston, West Virginia to go home to Ohio from South Carolina. Yes, Janet.
Yes, I'm happy to say I'm signed up for the trip. So
Oh,
I'm very excited to go, and it just looks so appealing. So yeah, I'm counting the days. Going to be making the airfare soon. When do you suggest we do that, by the way? Would you think maybe 1st of February, perhaps?
I probably would start looking now, maybe looking
Really?
Google Flights and maybe get some alerts. Like I use Hopper for some of my travel, which is a little app that tells you the lowest fares for times. And even
Okay.
Capital One uses it to tell people when to book flights. It's called Hopper. And it's free, but they do always try to want you to subscribe and stuff. I never do that. And
Okay.
But don't book it on Hopper.
yeah, don't book it on Hopper. And the
Ah.
thing about Hopper is sometimes, it may be a $300 trip to, California, which none of us really want to go to right now, maybe Seattle.
Mm.
And but then it's like 12 stops. So it's good to just look at Hopper and do it, but then Google Flights is a good thing. And Jeannie, do you have any other suggestions for looking at flights?
Well, I was just going to say any third-party app that you look at, Orbitz, Expedia, any of those, and Hopper is one that I always use. Just look and find the flight that you want and then book it directly with the airline. Because
Okay.
if you don't book directly with the airline, if anything happens, the airline will tell you, not my problem.
Yeah,
So,
you don't have power with those third parties at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say that early February is fine. I just put out a newsletter yesterday, I think, that said, there was a New York Times article that said January and February, good times to book to get fares. So I'd say early February is probably fine, to book it. And did Lisa, by the way, I wanted to ask you, were a few of the Santa Fe women coming together, or are you the Santa Fe representative? You're muted, Doug.
Hang on, yeah, I was trying to unmute there. Yeah, Teresa is actually downstairs. She's online right now.
Oh, you're right. Okay, good.
Okay, so Teresa will be coming, and if I'm not mistaken, Teresa, who else was it that was going to come? Joanna?
Joanna and Alicia.
There you go.
Great.
So 4 people so far from Santa Fe.
That's fun. How fun is that to do a little reunion? That's
Oh,
fun.
it's great. And I have to tell you, we enjoyed that Santa Fe trip so much. As soon as I think we weren't even home from Santa Fe yet, and we were already looking for another trip with you guys, because it was just a great experience. You and Marcy, everybody was just fantastic.
Marcy,
I
Marcy
gotta
was an
live-
11.
I got to live up to Marcy then.
That's right.
I'll have to get
Melissa,
some,
you got to be a 12.
I've got to get some intel on y'all, for sure. But I'm super excited because there's nothing like sharing where you live. I mean, it's
Right.
just nothing like it. So I'm really excited. And I do live in Greenwood, which is about 3 hours from Charleston. But like I said, I've lived there. I go there all the time. I go to my dermatologist there. So anyway, because she's skin
I'm
cancer.
going to add something to the where to buy the tickets. I learned the hard way that I have a platinum card, American Express platinum card, and they will do the travel for you. But what I learned is that they go through these cheap apps.
Oh,
So I had to cancel in Portugal. I got COVID and had to come home. And
right.
booked my hotels and I couldn't get refunded.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to double check this time. I got great prices on the air travel, but
Right.
Yeah.
so just an FYI about that if people are
Oh,
using.
boy, that's good to
You
know.
end up
Thank you.
getting your money back?
What's that?
Didn't you end up getting your money back from trip insurance?
I'm waiting to hear. I tried a new travel insurance, but I called Air Canada and explained my whole saga and threw in a few personal crisis details, and she was so upset. She got Air Canada to refund all of my money.
Wow, great. That's
Wow.
good.
Well,
Well,
Janet, I wanted to ask Janet something real quick. Have you been on a NextTribe trip, or are you new to NextTribe?
I have not. This will be my first trip. I did meet Jeannie in Chicago when she was here, Jeannie
Yeah.
Ralston.
Ralston, the other
And
two.
yes, yes. And so it just seemed like such a great group. I'm just so pleased to finally be able to, book this time and get out of Chicago for a little while. And the winter here has just been really kind of tough right now. So
And
it's great.
Janet, if you're in Chicago, I need to introduce you to, I ran the Vietnam trip, and there are two women from Chicago who went on that trip, Debbie Lesson and Najwa. Najwa, do you know Najwa's last name, Elsor? Anyway, anyway, Najwa, both of them live in Chicago, a few other people in Chicago. So hopefully we can get a little Chicago NextTribe group going too.
All right. Love to meet them. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you on the WhatsApp yet for the community? Jennifer?
I did get on WhatsApp.
You
I
did.
get on there. I hope I did it correctly. I think
Yeah,
I
well,
did.
you would
got
be
the
on the
app.
master group, and I don't think a Chicago group has been set up yet. But once
Okay.
one is set up, just look in the list of, community groups and look for Chicago, and we'll probably make an announcement when we add new groups, local groups. And that's true for all of y'all, wherever you live.
Sounds
And I
great.
do want to share
There's
for
not many West Coast people. I don't think.
There are not many West Coast people?
Yeah.
There's a ton of West Coast people.
Oh, okay.
Ton of West Coast people, but I don't even think the SoCal group. I just moved to Austin from LA in November, and there are probably 35 people in the Southern California area.
I'm in the north.
Yeah. Oh, you're north. There's a Northern California group also. Sacramento, San Francisco, Berkeley, blah, blah, blah. So we will hook you up, and plus you'll be hooked up in the trip group as well. So if you go on a trip, you'll be in the traveler group for that trip. And that group will also stay live after the trip is over. I got my Vietnam women, 8 of them booked for San Miguel this year, and they're all talking about having a reunion in Arizona in 2 months, even though they went to San Miguel together. So we like to keep the love going on, and every year we create a new trip group. If we run the same trip, we'll create a new group. So sorry I didn't mean to monopolize, but I just want to let you guys know about the communication here.
Well, I just wanted to say, in terms of when you fly in and getting downtown to the King's Courtyard Inn, Ubers, I mean, it is a massive tourist area, meaning they're very geared toward tourism. So anything that you've used on any of your travels is all happening there. And the King's Courtyard Inn is where we will meet. And like I said, I'd love it if people got there. If you can get there by about 1:30, that would be optimum. Earlier would be great. And if you want to come a day earlier, we can all reach out to each other and see where we are. I'm not sure if I'm coming in on Thursday morning or Wednesday, but we can figure that out. So,
And soon, I'll send out an email with logistics, airport, basic itinerary, so you can see what time, remind yourself what time you need to be there, different, transportation options from the airport. And also I'll collect everybody's flight details. So then you can see, and we'll share that, so you can see who's arriving at the same time as you, maybe share a car or an Uber and stuff like that.
and I do drive us around in true NextTribe style as your van driver. So I'm your chauffeur, and entertainment when we're in the van.
And that is honestly, if I can just Yeah, if I can just add one more thing, that is one of the difference between NextTribe trips and other maybe women's group trips that you take. We're very selective about the trip leaders that go on the trip with you. We don't just dump you in a city and then some local person takes you around on a guided tour and then somebody else takes you somewhere else. And you have Elliser with you the entire time, just like Marcy was with you the entire time. So I hope you will enjoy that. I'm sure you will because Elliser is a lot of fun.
And I will do preference sheets before we go for everybody who's booked and ready to go, because I like to know what you drink and eat, because there's times where, like when we go on the boat trip, I make sure you have your favorite beverage. I hope it's not Heineken Zeros. Somebody said they wanted them last year, and I think one was drank, and I brought it home, and my husband goes, "What is this?" It was amazing. I mean, respectful of people who don't drink, totally get it, but it
Dry
was.
January, Elliser, dry January.
I know, but Heineken Zeros, try
I
something.
know, it's not
Anyway.
good.
So you'll be getting that from Marcy as well. So thank you.
How many people on the trip?
Where there'll be a total of 10 or 11, is that right? How many did we run last year, Elliser?
I had a van. I think I was at 15 last year.
What? Wow,
I had
okay.
a lot last year.
You know what, the way we do this trip, it depends on how many people book a single and how many people book a double. So if everybody books singles, then it's fewer
It
people.
might have been 12. It was a big van though. We had a
Yeah.
lot of fun in it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, do you need to do the drawing?
Oh, yeah. Are you ready? Is everybody
Yeah, I
ready?
think if
I have
everybody,
one-
please ask your question.
One more question, if I could squeeze that in, please.
Yes.
Okay, I remember on the registration, something about alcohol. If you want it, it's a extra charge. And I don't think Marcy, you probably know this, but I don't think I elected to do that. I certainly want to do it. Can I go back to get that once I get there? I think there was a upcharge or something of that
Well,
nature.
no, well, I can speak to this. Well, I mean,
Okay.
Marcy, you correct me, or Jeannie E, but this will be good for me because I know you pay for your own alcohol. So when we go out, because NextTribe can't be liable for you. So we're just trying to, I think maybe she just was finding out, but no, when we go, you buy your own alcohol. We cover the dinners, we cover the food, except where we said you were free for lunch or something like that. And then, but on this one, we have a boat ride, so I will get beverages for everybody. But I'll get that from you, what you like. I mean, it's just like wine and beer is all we take, and water and soft drinks and stuff like that. But no, that's the only time where I go ahead and buy it, because we're out on a boat and there's no place.
I just looked at the trip and there is an add-on
Oh,
that's on there. So we need to talk about that. It
oops.
says alcohol at dinners. So if you want to prepay in advance and then you don't have to keep up and keep track.
Well, that's something new to me. Yay, that's a great idea.
What's the
Yeah,
add-on for?
For alcohol.
For the whole trip?
It can be, yeah, it can be all inclusive alcohol. You pay one price and then you can go crazy.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
awesome.
do it a la carte, like just do it on your own if you're going to
Yeah,
have a.
no, both.
Okay.
You can either do it that way, and that way we don't keep a record of what you're drinking, or you can do it the way we normally do it on trips, which is you just let us know, what I do on my trip. Everybody does it differently. Every trip leader does it differently. I pass my phone around and do a voice memo and say, "Hello, my name is Lisa, and I had a glass of red wine tonight. Hello, my name is blah, blah." And then I take the receipts home, and I can give you a bill at the end of the week or at the end of the trip of how much you owe.
Yeah, because we don't make you pay it like at the restaurant. You wouldn't say, "Well, I had a glass, I owe you $3.50," to the
Yeah,
waiter.
no. So
Very
we just keep a record of it going, and we try to make a game out of it. But everybody does it differently.
And on some trips, people don't drink, so there's always that.
That's right. That's true.
But we're free form. You can do anything you want to do within reason.
Yeah.
To answer the
I mean,
question,
if
now that we know that is an offer as an add-on for this trip, yes, you can. I can go add that for you, or just send me an email and we'll discuss a couple options.
Okay. If nobody else has any questions, time for the drawing.
and what do they get? And
They get, I'm sorry, $200 off of the trip, Plus, if you're a NextTribe member, you get an additional $100 off. And if you've already booked the trip, that means you get $300 off of your existing trip. Let's see who is going to be the winner. I'll dig down to the bottom here. And you have to be present to win. So I'm going to open up some, but if people didn't come, Ashley is not here. Next. These are people who signed up on the Eventbrite, and Shanna, not here. Next, let's see, who is this? Annie, not here. Look at all these people. Why is Shanna in here twice? How did that happen? Okay. Bonnie, not
Oh,
here.
goodness.
How weird is that? Christine. That's so weird. All these people sign up for the Eventbrite.
Did you put their name?
Teresa Burns.
Oh, no.
Teresa Burns. That's Teresa Burns. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. $200 off.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to figure out how to go.
All right, we'll figure it out.
You've twisted my arm because I have to go to a writing workshop in West Virginia, the 10th through the 13th of April.
And we're just the 27th through the 30th of March.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to figure it out. I can fly up and see my son in Boston and fly back, or or just bomb around. Anyway.
Or you could get a little
Well, thank you.
bungalow. You could get a little bungalow in Charleston or on the beach, and you could write before your writing thing.
There you go.
How
Okay.
about that? How about are you in San Francisco?
Yeah, in
Okay.
the Bay Area. Yeah.
In the Bay, but I lived in San Francisco. So are you somewhere else?
I'm in Oakland.
You're in Oakland. Okay. There are a couple members in Oakland, Berkeley, Sacramento. There's like, so I'll connect you guys, and we'll figure out, we'll get this Bay Area, a WhatsApp group. All these WhatsApp groups are new, being set up. So it's slowly being rolled out, but we'll make sure that you're connected to all those people.
Yeah, and I went on my first trip to Portugal, and sadly, it was my emancipation trip as I was beginning divorce. And I had to come home. So the small flavor I had, it was so fun. I'm excited for you, Janet. So fun. Everybody was just delightful. And it really gave me hope that I can travel again. So
wonderful. That's great. Yeah. Well, congratulations on your liberation. As a former divorced person, I will say congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions, or shall we call it a night?